Hi, my name is Aidan, and in this video I'm going to talk about REST APIs and the HTTP methods it uses. So API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's a set of rules or a contract that define how programs can connect to and communicate with each other. A REST API is an API that conforms to the design principles of REST, and REST stands for Representational State Transfer. So as mentioned in the previous slide, REST is like a set of guidelines for an API. It's a lightweight architectural style, so it's format agnostic. So many different formats can be used, as opposed to SOAP, where you have to use XML. It's the most popular communication standard for clients to talk to servers. An API that follows REST standards is called a RESTful API, and REST APIs communicate via HTTP requests. And using like the REST principles, you can organize resources into a set of unique URIs. It's stateless, meaning the client and the server don't store information about each other. All requests and responses are independent from each other. This is good for if you want to scale your application, as the servers aren't storing information of what happened, so you don't have to replicate that information everywhere. Also, certain types of requests can be cached. The most common REST API HTTP methods are GET, which is used to retrieve a resource, POST, which is used to create a new resource, PUT, which is used to update or replace a specific resource, delete, which is used to remove a resource, and patch, which is used to modify parts of a resource. As mentioned in the previous slide, the GET method is used to retrieve resources. When using the GET method, nothing should be changed, and for this reason, calling this method is considered safe. Also, it is idempotent, meaning it can be called multiple times and will return the same result every time. The put request is used to update a resource. The body of the request will contain the new values of the resource. Also, if a resource in the request doesn't exist, depending on how you design it, it could create that resource. The put request is also idempotent, so if it runs multiple times, it will return the same response every time. The post request is used to create a new resource. It is not idempotent, so it creates a new resource every time it's called. So care needs to be taken when calling this method, as making two identical post requests will most likely result in two resources containing the same information being created. Delete request is pretty straightforward. It's used to delete a resource. It is idempotent, so call it multiple times, have the same result. The patch request is used to update specific attributes in a resource. It's similar to the put request, however the put request is used to update or replace the entire resource, whereas the patch request is used to replace parts of the resource. The patch request only needs to contain the changes to the resource, not the complete resource. And depending on how it's designed, it could be idempotent.